Hey, it's Noel Powell from creationeffects.com, and in this quick tutorial I'm going to show you how to make animated paper textures in Adobe After Effects. It's not hard at all. All you need is a high-res texture image. I've made so many of these because I use them in mixed media animations or to make stop motion animations with my graphics printed on the paper. I actually have a whole pack of 50 of them for 19 bucks that have a lot of customization options if you want to save time. But if you want to learn it yourself, just keep watching. What you definitely don't want to do is go and spend $50 on a stock footage clip because you're better than that. And they usually just loop the same 5 frames over and over anyway. So what we're going to do is make it random so that no 2 frames are the same. So let's get started. First thing you need is a paper texture. I scanned a bunch of my own, but you can just go and download one for free on a free image site like Pixabay. And I'm in After Effects now, and I have an HD comp here, and I'll drag my image inside. You can scale it down a little bit if you want, but you really want it to be a bit bigger than your comp. And let's start giving it some random movement. I'll alt-click the position property and type in a simple wiggle expression. Wiggle, and in parentheses, 100 times a second. We'll wiggle it maybe 1500 pixels. And right away we can see random changes on every frame, but you can also see we're seeing the edges now. But don't worry, I planned for this. It's all under control. I'll add a CC reptile effect, and we'll tile our image in all directions about 2000 pixels, or as much as it takes. And you can fade the seams if you need to, or some textures look better when you mirror the tiles using unfold. So now we're going to recognize parts of the image that keep appearing. So let's add more randomness. I'll alt-click the rotation now and do wiggle 100 times about 1000 degrees, or anything over 360 degrees. And we can also flip this image randomly, which will completely change how all those recognizable parts will look. So I'll alt-click the scale this time, and this is the absolute shortest way that I know how to do this. So this is like a shorthand if-else statement. On every frame, it'll evaluate a condition, and that's this part here. This part of the condition just generates a random number between 0 and 1. So if it's less than 0.5, so that'll be half the time, the condition is true, and the scale will be this value. If the number is over 0.5, the condition is false, and the scale will be this value. So flipped on the x-axis. Okay, it's pretty random now, but there is one more thing we can do. I'll just duplicate the layer, and I'll set this top one to darken, or you could do lighten or multiply, whatever looks best. So now we're blending 2 random textures together, and it'll blow the minds of guys like me because I'll sit there and try to count how many images someone used before they looped it. So don't give guys like me the satisfaction. Just super randomize it with these techniques. And the most important part is the low frame rate because this is too fast. So I'll add an adjustment layer, and we can do this with a posterized time effect. And I'll set the frame rate to something like 8 frames per second to create that choppy stop motion look. And that'll affect any layer underneath the adjustment layer. If you think you might be interested in the animated paper textures pack for After Effects, I'll put the link in the description. It's just $19. It has 50 pre-made animated textures that you can customize with slider controls, and it has some extra features, like you can just put your footage or graphics into a pre-comp, and it will make a stop motion animation with your media printed on the paper. And you can adjust the amount of texture on your footage or the amount of ink bleed to roughen the edges for rougher paper textures. I also have the paper cutout effect, which converts your footage into stacked layers of paper cutouts. And it lets you create all kinds of custom paper elements with torn edges. I'll leave a link for that one too. Or if you want to go all out, I've got the mixed media effect. It's a huge collection of drag and drop effects for turning your video footage into a custom mixed media animation. It's got lots of text effects, stylized filters and overlays, animated doodles, magazine cutouts, everything you need to make an animated scrapbook animation. Lastly, the Creation Artifacts bundle. It also uses these kinds of animated paper textures, and that one turns your footage into animated art in just about any artistic medium that you can imagine, like pencil drawing or oil paint, watercolors, pen scribble, claymation, Legos, graffiti, just a whole bunch of stylized artsy looks for your footage. So all those and more at creationeffects.com. I hope you liked the tutorial and learned something. I'll catch you at the next one.